Here we are, with the best looking tank Britain has ever produced, the FV-214 Conqueror. A heavy tank that, believe it or not, isn't as obsolete as you might believe. To start things off, we'll talk about its playstyle, and the way it can be best utilised alongside other tanks, as this match is an exemplary one for illustrating my points. The Conqueror is not an overly aggressive vehicle. It much prefers holding down angles, sightlines and points of interest, while the rest of the team handles objectives. However, don't be afraid to push up and be on the front lines with them, as long as you're the one acting as fire support and not a brawler.
A dead one.
A dead one indeed. Your 120mm gun will allow you to take out pretty much any target you come across on the battlefield, and you can do it from range, while shrugging them off. The Conqueror's main strengths lie in its armour and firepower, which for the BR is some of the best you can get right out of the box. Your front armour is nigh impenetrable to most vehicles you'll face, and keeping the range extends this more so. Better yet, you have the firepower to shit right in their mouths if they dare stay out in the open for long enough for you to retaliate. All in all, if you play your cards right, you have an extremely powerful heavy tank that can be a major player in any battle you take it. As I mentioned briefly before, the Conqueror's armour is, fuck off, stupid gun, one of the biggest strengths of the vehicle. Able to shrug off any AP round with the exception of 105 Sabre, and even low power chemical rounds such as those fired from recoilless rifles, BMPs and 90mm weapons. Though this is only when you have the additional ballistic protection package, which is a tier 4 modification.
Get behind me.
And here I'm able to offer up my tank as hard cover for my squad mate, as I can comfortably bounce everything I was facing in that match.
There he is, there he is, there he is, there he is.
The Conqueror's only major weakness frontally lies in its lower frontal plate, which can be penned by vehicles carrying long 88s and other similar high-power APHE shells at lower BRs. The upper hull is strong enough to withstand most, if not all, kinetic rounds fired at it, and the turret was already the strongest point of the armour. Not much getting through there. There is, however, one teeny little weak spot just here, and the same on the other side of the turret just here, which are extremely hard to hit, but they can be an instant kill. There are boxes and other scraps of metal in the way, but they provide no real protection even from heat. This is the additional ballistic protection package, which, while underwhelming at first, does actually boost your survivability a considerable amount from AP and chemical rounds. Side armour's not much to glance at, everything's going through that, and the rear of the turret is the same again. And you're also not safe from aerial attack. Things from above will destroy you instantly. Cannon planes, rockets, bombs, missiles, artillery, you name it, it's gonna go through the top of your turret, through the deck, and it's gonna turn the crew inside into a nice fine red paste. Now, moving on to the X-ray, you can see that the ammo there on the side is what I was talking about with the instant kill. All of the ammo lines the inside of the turret, which means if they pen that little weak spot before, it is going to ammo rack you, which is a pain in the ass. And that pretty much sums up everything that needs to be said. Don't care. Die.
Due to any fucking fault, like there are a great many things that do scare me, and rightfully so, and I'm fucking happy to admit that's one of them. Oh, but
Are you serious? You fuckhead!
I think I got
All in all, the Conqueror is pretty well rounded in terms of arms and armour. It's strong, but it's not invincible, and half the time your team's gonna let you down before the tank does. However, it does go without saying that the Conqueror is slow. Much slower than its Russian counterparts, and certainly slower than whatever else you can find in Britain. It moves along flat ground worse than a greyhound with no legs, and it climbs hills worse than an old person with polio. So needless to say, manoeuvrability is a must. But apart from that, the tank's pretty much as good as you can get it, right out of the box.
Now fuck off.